So our start of the season was awkward as hell, honestly. That opening match did us no favours whatsoever, and we were very lucky to get the result that we did. On the plus side, we do now have an enormous amount of money in the bank thanks to the release clause being triggered on Sylvain Caron. Now, will we be able to spend that money in the rest of the window? It's very unlikely because of the squad restrictions we do have. However, I'm putting some feelers out on some signings, and hopefully that will bear some fruit for us. But today, we have to turn our attention to the Europa League. It is imperative to keep the money coming in that we get into the group stages. We've got a playoff round to get through today. That is going to be absolutely key. As always, if you have been enjoying this series, do be sure to drop a like on the video. If we could get to 300, that would be fan-bloody-tastic. I do appreciate it very, very much indeed. So I've kind of decided that we need to take a slightly different track towards our transfer objectives, because we do still have £6 million in the bank. The issue is at the moment, we are maxed out in terms of being able to register players. I've actually had to unregister John Diaz just to fit Ido into the team, but I feel like Ido is kind of what we need right now. And as I said in the last episode, the issue is we had a lot of players that were no longer had to be registered last season, but now do this year. And of course, that's caused us some problems. So I think really going forward, we need to be trying to find players younger. Now that we've got this idea to build the squad deeper, we need to be finding 17, 18-year-olds. One that can count as homegrown when they do turn 21, and two, so they won't have to be registered for a few years anyway. So what I've done is done a little bit of cursory scouting towards the youth national teams with some scout reports to see what happens. Now that will take a little while to come through. However, it does mean that we could potentially have a very busy January transfer window if we do get some good guys coming through and might be able to pick up some absolute bargains in those leagues in the meantime. So that's my hope for that. Today though, we've got ORB. We're at home. I've decided that we're just going to bin it and go full balls with our original tactical style because I think it is the right approach. We just didn't seem to be creative at all against Midtjylland. And one of this, I don't know if you guys missed this, at the very end of the last video, I did a little bit of a look at Valencia's goals in terms of what tactic we were playing. Really, the only tactic that he consistently scores goals is our basic one. Because I do still believe there's a fantastic player here, and I don't think he could have gone from being a world beater to being absolute dross in the space of 6 months. And hopefully today, he can get back to winning ways, grab himself a goal, get that confidence so we can push. Well, hopefully. Biggest plus, though, for me, is that Terry Cloty is back in the lineup. So obviously, Boyce will get himself another chance. Ido will make his debut for the club as well, going back to the more default type of system. But I really do think that our bench is very strong with Perez, Silla, Szymanski, Victor, Ilsa, and Luskov. That is an extremely strong bench. It's nice to see the youngster actually being good enough to make that as well. We've definitely got options there, and that is pleasing. Yalonen even doesn't even make the bench, and it does make me wonder actually if perhaps giving him a new contract when we did might not have been the best idea, given that he's sort of fallen down the pecking order, and he could be someone that maybe we could look to cash in on now that he's got that long-term deal. Maybe try and move him on in January, even though he is the club captain, but that would also free up another slot for us because he'll never be homegrown. But what we emphatically do need to see today is a victory, for a start. Secondly to that, we need to see a victory with us playing well. We were so lucky to get that point at Midtjylland, you have no idea. I mean, you do have an idea because you saw it. Now, admittedly, there was an element of fortune for them as well in the fact that they had 2 penalties, but nevertheless, the first one was stonewall, second one was nonsense, but we didn't deserve much from that match, so to get away with a point was a huge boon. Signed with the ball downfield, but we should have some height in midfield, and we do. Carlson flicks it through. Valencia's a tough angle. He's not going to be able to get a good shot away from here, I wouldn't imagine, but it's a great pullback. Really is. And Breda drills it into the bottom corner. Petr Breda, brilliant finish from our new young Czech star. Sunioska 1, ORB 0, and it's Petr Breda, not his debut goal, but still a great goal to score. Oh, Anderson's actually managed to do his man here. Skoo drops it across, loads of bodies in the way, and really well defended again. So Cloty's taken a slight knock, which is unfortunate. Gomez whips it in, and Carlson's at the back post. Christopher Carlson, 2-0 to Sunioska. Big goal. His first of the season. We're 2 up in 15 minutes. That's what you want to see. And it's actually come to Valencia. It's a lovely little peel away there. Can he take his man, or will he just look to find Terry Cloty? It's a good ball in for Carlson. It's a great cross from Valencia to Carlson. I don't know if that's going to count, but what a ball. It's given. It is awarded 3-0 to Breda. Round the side for Terry Cloty. Could he turn provider this time? Wall across, and it's Valencia, and it's 4. It's 4. Straight from the kickoff, technically. Sunioska 4, ORB 0, and Valencia deserves that goal. He's actually been brilliant in the first 20 minutes, just as a creative force. He could go for a goal here. Finds Gomez instead. He's got tons of room. Finds the right pass. Oh, it's... Well, I don't believe this. I think it's an own goal. Maximilian Demuth makes it 5-0. It looked like it came off Carlson, but it didn't. It's an own goal. Do you know what? I feel like the perfect remedy to having a bad performance and looking a bit shaky is coming out and being 5-0 up by half-time against ORB, who are certainly no mugs. These guys were... I don't think they were top... Were they top half? They were certainly a decent-ish side last season, and here we are 5-0 up at half-time. Obviously, 5 is extremely harsh on them, but I guess life goes on, right? Breda again. Finds a little angle for it here, and Valencia is at the back post, and it is 6-0, I think. I don't know, but it's Valencia's put the header on it, and it's 6-0. Ingebrigtsen does slip it through here. Chance for them to get one back, and Skoo does exactly that. Tobias Skoo straight from that kickoff makes it 6-1. Makacek denied his clean sheet. That's a shame. To the challenge, Ingebrigtsen's in again here. Great tackle from Ido. That's a goal-saving tackle. It's going to be a tough job for Valencia to get much out of this, but he can at least hold the ball up for us, potentially. got support. Oh, just goes for the cross. Silla! It's a great finish from Alessini. Silla, what a ball in from Rafa Valencia. I think he's got 2 goals and 2 assists in this game, and it is 7-1. Whipped in. All the way through, and it's drilled home by Bogal Benestad, and it is 7-2 here. Well, I think that's going to do it. It's going to be Sunyaska 7 or be 2. Defensively in the second half, we did let ourselves down a little bit, but honestly, they were way better than the first half suggested. We were just riding that in the second half. We did slow it off a bit. It wasn't like we were full flat foot to the floor for the entire second half. If anything, it was mostly just keep the legs fresh, see if he could grab a couple of extra goals and try some players out. And there it is, 7-2 in the end. I think that's our biggest win since we joined the club as well. But Valencia, don't know if he did get man of the match in the end. 2 goals and 2 assists. I've given myself the hiccup, such was the amount of goals in this game. That was actually a bit surprising that he came up with the assists in today's game. Like, goal scoring, fine, brilliant to see. But 2 assists for 2 different players as well was really nice. Really strong performance. I don't think anywhere near 7-2 was deserved on the score sheet. I think Orbe were actually very good. And I think Makacek did a really solid job and actually made a decent number of saves in today's game. So, well, big credit for him. And big credit to the guys, really. Bouncing back with a result like that is exactly what we needed. And in this game, Valencia just felt way more like the player that we originally signed. And I'm super happy for that. Still not top of the league or anything, but nicely to be up there at the very least. And obviously tied on points with Copenhagen anyway, and same with Midtjylland. Right, let's get some games done. Hopefully the hiccups will go in a minute. Can't wait to think one for Esbjerg. If we could win the ball off them here, which we haven't, Traore's through. Don't foul him, don't foul him. He's going nowhere. Pulls it back across, and it's Frederick back. 1-0 Esbjerg in the derby. We're going balls to the wall with the old style tactic today. We need to turn this one around and fast. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. They got the goal after 6 minutes and their keeper made 11 saves. We had 26 shots in this match. I don't know how we lost that. I don't know how we didn't score in this match. We were actually really good again. They basically did very little after scoring the goal, but it didn't matter because we just could not seem to score a goal to save our lives. It wasn't like they were falling to Valencia today. He was doing some decent runs. The chances weren't really falling to him. He did have a goal that disallowed for offside that I still think was a bit dodgy, but life goes on, really. Not the best start for us when you look at how things have started. And Silkeborg flying out the traps, but that is not what we needed at all. Particularly as we've not had the worries of European in action yet. Okay, playoff draw. These are all the teams we could have. I mean, there's obviously some decent sides in here, but I think there's also some eminently beatable sides. Come on, show me the goods. Arguably, one of the better sides probably in RZ. I mean, when you look at some of the teams we could have got, although admittedly some of them were double, like either or types of draw, it should still be a big enough. I think we should still be able to win that, but I would have much rather had an easier draw than RZ, just so that we could cruise through. But now we do actually have to concentrate a little bit. So there's this guy, Krzysztof Jastrzębski, plays for Start, but he's available on a free transfer, 18 years old. Seems to be highly rated. I don't think he's anywhere near as good as that, but I feel like on a free transfer, it wouldn't be about the worst idea to pick up some guys like this. So we put a bid in along with everybody else. I don't think he'll choose us, but it's an option. Well, we've got Dean Parry, the goalkeeper that we didn't really want, but he is apparently a leading player for this league. So if nothing else, we might be able to move him on for some money. It's crazy for the price. It was worthwhile. He's going to get annoyed at me though when I can't register him. So it turns out I actually can register Dean Parry because Schuster wasn't a homegrown Sunniusk player. He was part of the Danish contingent where we actually had enough already. So we can have Dean Parry as our backup goalkeeper. So in a way, it's kind of worked. Raider with a chance to deliver one, and Carlson's actually on the end of it, and it is 1-0 Sunniusk after 5 minutes. Chrissy Carlson's 3rd goal of the season. Braider with a nice ball, and we lead FC Copenhagen. If we can hang on to this could be enormous later down the line. Svensson's ball through. Wow, he's just onside, and he's just in, and it's just a goal. Belman Jastrzębski on the end of it. I don't know how he was onside there, but he is, and they deserve that. We've had one shot in this game, and it was our goal. Whips it through. Oh, it's in. It's in. Belman Jastrzębski with the goal. I mean, Makacek's done everything he can to keep us in this match. We've been dreadful. No complaints. Absolute trash. Took the lead early on, and then it was just all FC Copenhagen for the rest of the match, and Jastrzębski gets his 2 goals. Makacek did everything he could in this match. The man still made 10 saves in this game. He's actually been very, very good. But now we slip actually outside the championship group spots right now, and it's not looking good for us at the moment. We're already 6 points off the top. I mean, this is the worst possible. I know we've had some tough games to start the season, but we've also lost to Esbjerg when we should have won. And we were lucky against Midtjylland to get any points in that game at all either. So we've only really looked good in 2 if you count the Esbjerg game we lost. Oh dear. Okay, so during my searches, I did notice one guy, this guy, Sifoe Madonsela, who plays for Supersport United. He's already a South African international at the age of 18. He's got 2 caps. He's available for like 400k. And he's exactly the type of player that I think we're going to have to start looking at trying to sign, because we can't afford to bring in complete prospects yet because they won't be able to be registered. Whereas he won't have to be registered for 3 years. And then when he is registered, he will actually count. Because if he joins us within the next 2 weeks, he'll be a homegrown talent. And I just think there's enough about this guy that he might be something quite good. If we can afford his wages, that is, which I think we can. But I think it's guys like this that we're going to have to go after at this point, because I think that our squad building really can't continue the way it has been. And I think that's why we're possibly seeing a drawback this season, because we just simply haven't been able to get the players in anymore. Whereas now I think we should have started doing this really initially, but we just didn't have the cash. Now we do. I think we can really start focusing on long-term squad building, and these are the guys that are going to make that happen, hopefully. So he's accepted 5k a week. Unfortunately, we have the same problem with the release clause that we had with all these other guys, but at least it is set at 8.75 million. We're paying £400,000 for him. So I think we kind of have to do it. We've got 60k in wage budget available at the moment, and I think this is the kind of transfer that we need to do. He's not a striker because he can't finish, but as a centre mid, I think there's a lot about this guy I kind of like. Plus, he could get better. You never know. Well, it's happening. We won't find out, of course, till August, but... Well, excuse me, till... Oh, no. The work permit date is 3 days after he turns 19. Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but he's still worth it. It's just would have been that little bit better if he could have just not had this work permit problem. But I still think for a player of this kind of quality, particularly now that we know even more about him, anybody in my position would be signing this guy right now. Well, hot damn, we're actually getting the young Norwegian guy. I wasn't expecting that. I figured he'd join anybody else. Williams again, and Carlson's on it, and he's done it again. He has been so useful from those lately. It's an early corner goal again. Christopher Carlson finds the score sheet, and we take the lead early. This time we must press on from this. Bombing down the left-hand side in that way that he does. Pops it back inside for Breda. It's a goal! I think that might be offside, but if it isn't, then that is some finish from Valencia. Williams to drop another in this time, and Carlson's on it again, and it's hit the bar, and it's bounced down to Jokanovic, and it's 3-0. It's just like the Orb game. We really do have it in us in these types of games to go mental. Just have a habit of going missing sometimes. Kind of nuts that 3-0 in the end still feels like a bit of a letdown, considering how well we started this match. Failed a bit in the second half. I just kind of made a load of substitutions and slowed the match down to try and save some legs for the midweek tie in Europe. But it's still a 3-0 victory. That's what we kind of wanted. Nice to see Carlson, and of course Valencia scoring too. Jokanovic with a nice finish on there as well. Williams had a good game. Yeah, it was just Valencia scored. He did a good job there, actually. He had a pretty solid match for us, in fairness to him here. He just has this... He's one of the few players I've actually seen that has apparently got consistency issues that actually displays those consistency issues. That seems to be what it is. Whereas every other player I've ever had that has sort of orange consistency seems to be fine, but he is really not great for that, but nevertheless we move. It does at least pull us back up to 5th in the league, and we've got like it's weird, like I don't think we've even been that bad this season so far. I think we should have beaten Esbjerg and really should be sat comfortably on around about 10 points right now, right in that battle. So I think if you look at these statistics, we're actually still right up there as probably by like 3rd or 4th best side in this league. It's just been a bit of a weird start, and I feel like over the full season hopefully that'll iron itself out a little bit. As Silkeborg, what a start to the season they've had though. They did this last year too though, so I'm kind of glad I did a little bit of that looking that I was talking about when I was looking at the under 19 sides and under 20 sides for African nations. A couple of freebies here. Both, well, one is Malayan and one is Senegalese. But, look at this chap. Would you look at this chap for a second? This is why you do that. This is what I do all the time on my treaty save. I've never actually got around to doing it on this save yet, which is why I probably were experiencing the very best that it has to offer, but bugger me. I might just try and sign both of them up. They wouldn't have to be registered, so they could just join us. Neither of them would ever be homegrown, but surely the value gain for them both would be enormous. He wants a breakthrough prospect contract on basically zero money. And the same with this chap here. Honestly, I realise that we know very little about him, but when it's free, and I just don't want to give any other... It's just a no-brainer. I've had to offer him more money than he allegedly... He only wanted like £400 a week, but we had to offer him $750 just to get him to even join us. But it meant that I could bung all this stuff in without even having to put international caps clauses in. All I will say to you, friends, is never underestimate the value of players that can be found in the under-19s and under-21s of slightly less fancied nations, especially in Africa, South America, and Eastern Europe. It is a gold mine. Fires one interesting, actually. Finds Gomez. Nice pick out from Ido. Around the side for Carlson. There's a run being made, and that run is Petter Breda, and he's in on goal. It's an easy finish for Petter Breda. I really like Petter Breda. I know he's got good attributes, but he's actually suited into this team really well, both creatively and getting forward for goals. It's 1-0 Soniuska. I reckon if there's a second goal, that's what makes or breaks this tie at this point. Berge Hansen. So many runners. One of them is Christopher Carlson. He's through, and he smashes it home, and that goal right there could be a tie-winning goal. We deserved that. We needed it, though, to get ourselves back there with a 2-goal advantage, and Carlson does it again. If we score a third goal in the 90th minute, it could be tie over, potentially. Carlson. Lovely one-touch stuff again. It's Jalonen. Run the stuff for Boyce. Oh, somebody pull it back. Carlson is there, and it's Konsta Jalonen. The captain himself hasn't played much this season, but he scored a goal, which could well give us 1 foot in the Europa League group stages. Come on. In the end, I'd say we thoroughly got what we deserve. We were brilliant in this game. What I would say is Valencia missed a great chance in the opening few minutes where the ball came across and he's just somehow put it wide of the wrong post, but life goes on. Needless to say, really, really happy with that. Those 2 late goals from Carlson and Konsta Jalonen, though, gives us a much better chance at progression now, and that makes me feel a lot more confident. I want to get these other players over the line, though. That that could really be make this window a very sensible one. Well, an absolutely terrible 0-0 in the end. So yeah, we made a couple of changes at halftime to try and bring us back into this a little bit, and I think it did get us the better of the second half by a comfortable margin, just really under that one opening for Frankie Williams. So one thing I have done is I noticed that I was constantly getting emails complaining about Valencia saying there was too much strength training, and his training ratings weren't particularly good. They weren't bad. They were still only like 7.1. But I decided in the end that I suspect it's something to do with certain things he doesn't like in our actual training plans, but I've turned his training intensity down by 1 notch. I've noticed that since then he's stopped complaining about it. My assistant reckons he's training better, and he's already getting like 8s in training within a week of doing that. So I do suspect, and he actually played a lot better today, he just couldn't get any chances because nobody did. But I do wonder if just making him happy in that sense might actually improve that little thing itself as well. And honestly, a 0-0 draw away at Nordic actually isn't the worst result in the world at all. Another good piece of goalkeeping from Makacek. Again, 7 saves today. He's genuinely been a really solid replacement for Caron. I cannot credit him enough. In the end, we do still slip to 7th, but we have played a lot of tough matches to start the season, and we've done okay throughout those. It's still incredible that Silkeborg are actually top of the league, having just beaten Midtjylland now. This is kind of mental, honestly. The top of the league after 6 games, and have already got an 8-point gap on us. I think we'll pull that back, but it's still kind of mad that that is the case. I think we're doing fine, even if we are 7th at the moment. I don't think that's going to last for very long. I think we'll have a nice run of matches, hopefully, against sides that aren't. That we've already played against FC Copenhagen, Nordsjælland, and Midtjylland so far, and actually only lost 1 of the 2 matches, and I think 2 of them are away from home as well. So it's been an okay start for us in the general. It's just the Esbjerg game that really bugs me. If we were sat on 11 points right now, I'd actually be really comfortable about that. Oh my god, what on earth? This is what I mean. Hassan Samson. Bear in mind, I didn't even scout this guy. I didn't look at Tanzania because Tanzania, generally speaking, aren't a particularly large footballing nation for producing outrageous talent. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I assume he's come through because they watched a match that his team played in against one of the teams I was looking at. You can't not, can you? You just can't not. Particularly as he will be a homegrown talent if we sign him, and I'm going to. They want £56,000 and I'm willing to spend it. This could be a real fruitful period for us if we can pick up some of these guys. But you really can see the fruits of some of the exact thing I've just been doing, and it's working quite nice. Some of these guys are a bit out of our price range, but it's finding guys like this and like this. Obviously, he's not in a position we want, and also, yeah, too old for what we were trying to do, but still, it's great. Breda, oh, they're standing off of us a lot here, and Breda's just fired one over the top for Valencia. He's got it onto his left foot here, and he's dropped it home nice and easy. 7th minute of the match, Rafa Valencia gets on the score sheet, and that's really, really nice to see, especially away from home. Good stuff. We're very close to making a good interception to give us another counter-attack. Well, there it is. There's the interception. Gomez. Right, come on, Rafa, on your bike, bud. Carlson. There's Rafa. He's made the run. He's got a bit wide. I don't think he'll be able to get the good shot away from this distance, but he can still turn provider. Finds Cloty. Finds, of course, it's Petter Breda in the end of it, and it's 2-0 here, and we look really good. Lovely run from Valencia. Lovely finish from Breda. I think that's his 3rd goal of the season, or at least his 2nd. Come on. Oh, Gomez pops inside for Williams. It's a lovely piece of football. Oh my goodness, and Breda's done it again. It's 3-0 now, and Petter Breda grabs his 4th goal of the year already from centre midfield. He's got an assist and 2 goals tonight. I like him a lot. Where's that pass? Valencia's into the space. There he comes. He's onto his left foot, or is he actually? Valencia goes to his right foot. It doesn't matter. He scored anyway. It's 4-0. Rafa Valencia scores another one. He had another chance earlier, which he hit the post with, but this one, 2 more goals for him tonight. Really pleased. Oh, hacks through. Makacek really wants this clean sheet. Can he get it? No, he can't. He just moved to the wrong side there. Nick Hack gets the goal back. 7-1 though. But in the end, still a relatively tight game towards the end. We just blew them away in the first half of this one. Valencia with a brace in this one. 2 for Petter Breda as well. Makacek, again though, was absolutely stunning in this game. He has proven to be a well-earned deputy. I can't believe the fact that we managed to shift Caron essentially in the end for 7.5 million and pick up this guy for the price we did, because he has stepped in and is doing every bit as well. So Madden Sailor is about to come in. But what I was going to say is that I feel like obviously with some of these guys, we couldn't see a great deal about them. And the only reason I was taking a plunge on some of them is because they just looked, from what I could see, too good to miss out on at the price points they were at. Even if they fall short of my expectations, particularly the free guys, they are still going to be better than, they're still going to be good players, even if they're not perfect. And this guy I'm excited about though. I mean, come on. For 400, technically 75,000, but that's only if he plays a ridiculous amount of matches. He's worth 6.2 million. He has a release cost of 8 odd million. I think for a player of this kind of quality, to get him for free, and we don't have to register him for anything like that, he can come straight in and give us quality. And I think it was too good of an opportunity to turn down. I'm so happy with that deal. Right then, group stage draw. We're a top seed. I don't know how, but I think we have had some European success in the past. How much did we get it by? 1.5 points of a PSV. So we get to miss out on the likes of Liverpool, Roma, Spurs, Slavia Prague, Gladbach. Did we play them last year. And Pushkas Academy of Hungary. It's not the easiest group by any means, but it's definitely a group that I feel like for a Europa League group, I feel like this is a group that we could go 6 for 6 in again. I really do think we've got a really strong chance at once again qualifying comfortably, and that is really pleasing. Being pot 1 sure does help. I assume Gladbach were the second tier side. They might not be. It might be Slavia Prague, actually. Still, I'm happy with that. So some nice football, actually, from our opponents here. If they can find the right ball through, which they have. Kapozzi's in, and he's hit the post, and it's in off the post. And OB have taken the lead here through Kapozzi. Silla delivers. Carlson's header is in on target, and we've found the equaliser straight off of the Valencia shot that led to the corner. Carlson grabs the equaliser for us. We can push. Madonela's making his debut today as well, because we needed the fitness levels. Valencia's done well today, considering he hasn't scored or assisted. He's actually been well in this match. Not looking out of it in any way. Cloti pops it across, and Carlson's there, and he scored. It's 2-1 to Sunioska. Christopher Carlson does it again. 7th goal this season for Big CC. He just constantly does it. Denise. Oh, flicked over the top, and Mustafa's there. Please don't let them have a goal back here. Are you kidding me? They've had 2 shots. Silla delivers. Szymanski scored! Kamil Szymanski off the bench to replace Carlson has somehow won the header from the corner. Come on, Kamil. That's such a big goal. I mean, in the end, a thoroughly deserved victory. We were dominant against them. Makacek, genuinely probably one of the worst performances he's had so far, but he has been fantastic overall. Today just was not his day. They really shouldn't have been allowed to score their first 2 shots of the match, but life goes on. Brilliant from Christopher Carlson. Great from Szymanski. Now, here's the key thing. Valencia, when I removed him from the pitch late in this match... Oh, no, I don't think I actually did take him off, did I? He was running a 6.9. He didn't score, he didn't assist in this game, but he didn't go missing like he has done in more recent matches. And I do think that maybe just reducing his training workload has made a hell of a difference. And he did have a couple of opportunities in this match, but he didn't seem to let it get to him this time. He looked much more in the game. So I think this might be a turning point for him. Good result for us as well, because it does keep it... Well, moves us into 6th spot in the league. We're still very, very good. Did Silkeborg win again? They bloody well did. Copenhagen with a 7-0 twatting of AB. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. 6-4 in the Midtjylland game as well. Okay, so here we are. A couple of these guys are coming straight in. Hassan Samson, of course, the Tanzanian lad, and then Kamara, who I believe is the fullback. So these two I'm very excited to see. For the price we paid, I think he's a little bit good, and he'll be a homegrown talent for us in a few years. I think he's more of a balling midfielder. We could always retrain him to play wing-back, though. He's not the quickest, but I think I might start retraining him there right now, because the thing is, I don't know where... I mean, his passing's okay, actually. I might train him there anyway, but we could use him in multiple positions. Kamara, not quite as good, but still, I think a worthwhile signing given the price we paid for him. He actually can't cross. There's things we couldn't tell about him, but still, I'll put him on a bit of a defensive... Actually, yeah, probably would be defensive positioning. I still think he's a decent player. He's just not spectacular. Oh. Hang on a minute. This was the one that was... Okay, please be good. He actually is. It's just perhaps not for us, honestly, but for the free transfer that we were going to get him for. Again, look at this. He was free. Yeah, I didn't expect him to be that good, considering we had to actually bump his wage up just to make him actually sign for us in terms of, like, getting the work permit. The low determination... Wait, no, not the low determination. He's got driven personality. Whatever this man does, he's going to do it to the best of his ability. It's the thing, because he can't cross. So, well, not very well. He's still a better finisher than he is a crosser. He's just got very low decisions. We're going to have to get him working on being a striker. But it's going to take some time, I think, with him. But today, we travel away to Ranas, who, of course, we've just loaned someone to. A chance, you know, a win for us here could actually send us as high as 3rd place. A position that I kind of feel like we probably deserve to be anyway. I feel like that Esbjerg game is really a bit of a weird outlier in there too. But I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Valencia. His training rating is now up to the mid-8s from where it was before, which is a big step up. And I think that's really showing in his performances in the matches. Even when he's not scoring, he doesn't go missing anywhere near as much as he did before. So I think slowly but surely we're turning him around. I'm paying way more attention to his development and the little minutiae than I would normally, but I really do feel like we can get something out of this guy, and I want to continue to do so. Right, so selections. New boys don't quite make the squad for this one, although actually technically Madon Sailor does. He's certainly the best of the bunch, but obviously we've got Samson as well, but he's still nursing a slight knock. We seem to have put that sort of struggling start behind us now, and I think we've actually won 4 in a row in all competitions. That's really kind of boosted us morale-wise as well. It's made a big difference to this team. But coming away here, technically not 4 in a row, but it is 4 wins out of 5, which makes a big difference. Oh yeah, there was the 0-0 against Nordsjælland in there too. So our form is certainly right up there overall, and I think a win today would really go a long way to showing that our goal difference is still supreme. Oh, actually, they're in again. Javinski. He's got a bit wide. Hopefully they don't turn that into something. They have not, incredibly. Good great tackle from Jokanovic, bounces straight back to his man. De La Hoyas all the way through and drills it over the bar. Out the traps like a lightning bolt at the moment. Aranas. Could he find the pass? He found Carlson. Good save near post. Nice, that's better. Clapping it long. Right, okay, a bit more control of the match for us now, which is more like it. Boyce finding a lot more space to operating. Can he find the right pass, though? That's the question. Pops it back, actually, for Breda, and another good save. Jokanovic to Boyce. It's been mostly about Boyce, actually. He's on it again here. Great first touch. Just has to drill this across. Breda is on the end of it, and it is 1-0 to Sunioska, and Petter Breda again. 5 goals this season from him. Yeah, he's going to get into mid-double figures this year, I think. Come on. Well, half-time, it's just about edged it for us, but you'll see as well. Oh, Valencia was on a 6.6 briefly there. He's sort of been knocking about that kind of area. Nothing spectacular from him, but he's certainly still involved in things, which is good. But I still want to try something different, I think, in the second half. We haven't looked good enough, although we are winning, which is good. Pops it for Carlson. Where's Valencia again? Valencia's in behind. It's a tough angle for him to score from. I wouldn't imagine him getting the shot away from here, but that's fine. Clotti, Carlson, tipped over the bar. How did Valencia lose rating because of that? That's mental to me. Valencia made the run through and created a lovely chance there, and he lost rating because of it. De La Hoge, Luca again. Slips it through for De La Hoge. Oh, God, Makacek's in here. And another good save. Fires one in. Valencia's header. Great header on goal. Really good header, actually. Boyce pulls it back. Silla's in there still. So many bodies around. Boyce pops it across for Valencia, and it's flicked away by the goalkeeper. Silla dropping it. Nice. One-touch stuff again. So it's through for Madon Sailor. He's through on goal on his debut, and he's not his debut, but he has scored his first goal for us. Madon Sailor makes it 2-0. He's been really good since he came off the bench. He just keeps dropping into these lovely pockets of space, both forward and backwards. 2-0. And we are going to get a really strong 2-0 victory away at Rana's. He hasn't really had the biggest openings today, and it is 2-0 to Sunniuska. Good result for us in there. They're really, really good. Makacek, again, did a really solid job in defence. Didn't concede anything. Breda and Madon Sailor were the goals, but Madon Sailor looked really, really strong off the bench here. It was nice. I don't know if I have to check if he has a PPM. And with that, we do move up to 4th in the league and start to look a little bit more pleasurable at where we want to be. But once again, Silkeborg just beat FC Copenhagen. What on earth are they in? What is in the drinking water over at Silkeborg? They have won 7 of their first 8 matches and drawn the other one, and have a 5-point lead at the top of the Superliga. We're only 3 points behind FC Copenhagen now. Suddenly it doesn't look quite as bad for us at this point, as we are starting to look a little bit more confident. But what on earth are they doing? They're mental. He actually doesn't have anything about coming deep to get the ball. He just seems to really like dropping into the little pockets on either side and doing a great job. Things are definitely starting to iron out for us. We had a bit of a poor start. That result was just a weird one. That one we thoroughly deserved. But I think since then we've really picked it up a little bit now. Starting to see more out of us. I'm starting to be a bit more confident in this team again now. Now obviously we've got the issues with Europa League coming up, but I do think we're on the right track now, and I think slowly but surely, hopefully Valencia can start to turn this season around a little bit for himself. I'm getting a little bit more happy with him, but I do want to see some more goals out of him, because Carlson is carrying us a little bit at times, as is Petter Breda as well. What a guy. Hopefully we'll see more out of Madon Sailor too. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, I think we've done some really good transfer business too, as well as sorting ourselves out domestically, and in Europe as well. Drop a like, that'd be lovely. If you get 300, that'd be sick. I will stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday. Big transfer window episode tomorrow, so that's going to be fun as all hell. And yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Subscribe if you're new. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.